Once upon a time, in a small village named Bayeko in Nigeria, nestled amidst lush, greeny and gentle hills, lived two friends named Bade and Bayo. They were inseparable since childhood, sharing laughter, dreams, and adventure in their quaint village. The bond was as strong as the roots of the ancient tree that surrounded their village, and together they navigated the joy and challenges of the life in their close-knit community. Bayeko was a place of tradition and taboo, one of which was never to eat rabbits. Legend of the land had it that rabbits were sacred creatures, and to eat them brought great misfortune upon the entire village. It was a belief deeply ingrained in the heart of the villager, passed down through generations. As Bade and Bayo grew older, on a fateful day, disaster struck in the farm of severe famine that gripped the land, leaving the villagers desperate for sustenance. With their bellies empty and their spirits waning, Bade and Bayo knew they had to seek help, so one fateful day, they decided to embark on a journey to the neighboring village of Akoko, where rumors whisper of bountiful harvest and a lot of food. Bade and Bayo setting out on the dusty path that led to Akoko. They have walked 20 kilometers and were tired, so they decided to take a rest under a big mango tree with so many leaves on it. After a while, they decided to continue with their journey as they walked through the dusty pathway. Their journey took an unexpected turn when they encountered an old man struggling under the weight of a heavy bag on his head. His weary eyes pleaded for assistance from the two friends. But while Bade's heart stirred with compassion, Bayo's was hardened with indifference. Bayo faced Bade and said, "Bade, let's not waste our time with this old man. We have our own problem to deal with." Bayo scoffed, as his voice laced with disdain, but Bade couldn't ignore the silent play in the old man's eyes. "I cannot simply turn away. We must help him," he insisted, stepping forward to offer his aid. Bade, with his kind heart, offered to help the old man without a second thought, but Bayo, with a heart veiled in darkness, callously refused, turning his back on the elderly stranger. A heated argument ensued between Bade and Bayo, their voice rising in anger as their friendship trembled under the pressure of betrayal. The old man, observing the unfolding conflict, felt a twinge of resentment towards Bayo for his heartless demeanor. Despite Bayo's refusal, Bade persisted in aiding the old man, his compassionate nature shining brightly amidst the shadows of discord. After returning from Akoko village, days went by, weeks went by, but Bayo was busy thinking of a way to make Bade pay for him going against his words. Little did Bade know that Bayo's heart was harbored with darkness, a darkness that would soon cast a shadow over their once unbreakable bond. Consumed by envy, jealousy, spite, and malice, Bayo plotted revenge against his friend, scheming to bring about Bayo's downfall. He fabricated a web of lies and deceit that could shake Bayeko to its core, weaving a tale of betrayal, the forbidden indulgence in rabbit meat. He accused Bade of partaking in the taboo, fabricating the story of a stranger who tempted him with the forbidden delicacy. In the days that followed, whispers of Bade's supposed transgression spread like wildfire through the village. The venomous word of Bayo reached the ears of the village elders, including the king and the chiefs, who had swayed over matters of justice and law in the village of Bayeko. Their hearts heavy with sorrow, they listened to Bayo's accusation against his once dear friend. As the accusations mounted, Bade stood alone against the tide of suspicion and distrust. Even the king and the chief of the village, bound by the duty to uphold the laws of Bayeko, could not ignore the gravity of the allegation. The king ordered the town crier to make announcement to the public for urgent meeting. So the town crier went into the village to invite all villagers to the palace, including Bade and Bayo was also invited alongside. In the evening on that same day, everyone reported to the palace. The king started a speech and was facing Bade. Bade, can you tell me one thing we forbid in this land and why you have decided to put the whole village in trouble? Bade sighed and went on his knee before all the villagers, the king and the chiefs. He answered, Your Royal Highness, I'm innocent of this allegation laid on me. I have never tested nor touched rabbit in my entire life because I know it's sacrilege to my lovely land. And I wouldn't want to put myself nor my lovely villagers in great danger. But all his explanation fell on deaf ears of everyone in the gathering, including the king. In a solemn gathering at the palace, Bade faced his accuser, his heart heavy with the weight of injustice. With tears in his eyes, he pleaded his innocence, but Bade's poison had already taken root in the mind of the villagers. Then the king continued further and says to Bade, The penalty for such a crime is death, declared the king, his voice resonating with solemn authority. Bade's world crumbled around him as the reality of his situation sank in. He was to pay the ultimate price for a crime he did not commit, condemned by the lies of his once dear friend. But just when all hope seems lost, a glimmer of light pierced through the darkness. The old man whom Bade had helped on that fateful day emerged from the shadows, his weathered face bearing witness to the truth. With a full heart of gratitude, he stepped forward to testify on Bade's behalf, revealing the truth of Bayo's deceit and vindicating Bade's innocence. I hold this young man alive, the old man proclaimed, his voice strong despite his years. He showed me kindness when others would have turned away. He is innocent of the crime laid against him. His words carried the weight of truth, and the villagers watched in stunned silence as the piece of Bayo's deception fell away. In the face of such irrefutable evidence, the king had no choice but to observe Bade's of his supposed wrongdoing. As the truth was revealed, Bayo's facade of deceit crumbled, leaving him exposed in the harsh light of reality. Shame and regret flooded his heart as he realized the extent of the harm he had caused, not only to Bade but to the fabric of the community. But even in the face of imminent doom, Bayo's conscience stirred with a glimmer of remorse. He could not bear the thought of his friend facing the dire consequence of his falsehood. Thus, he revealed the truth to the assembly, confessing his sins and exposing his own wickedness. The revelation sent shockwave through the village as the true nature of Bayo's treachery came to light. The king, wise and just, weighed the scales of justice with a heavy heart. He decreed that Bayo's betrayer could not go unpunished, and he should be banished from the land of Bayeko, consigning him to the treasure part of the evil forest. But Bade went on his knee with tears rolling down his eyes before the king to plead for mercy on behalf of his friend Bayo, despite his betrayal. The old man who came to vindicate Bade pleaded for mercy as well on behalf of Bayo. King Emeka, with a compassionate heart, looked up and sighed. Then he said, What more can I say? For the sake of Bade and the old man, I forgive you, Bayo. The villagers, relieved and grateful, embraced Bade once more, celebrating the triumphal goodness over evil. And so, harmony was restored to the village of Bayeku as the echoes of friendship and forgiveness resounded through the verdant hill and the valley. From that day forth, Bade continued to walk the path of kindness and compassion, his heart untouched by the shadow of betrayal. And though the scars of betrayal lingered, the bond of friendship endured, resilient and unwavering in the face of adversity. In the end, it was not the darkness of betrayal that defined their friendship, but the enduring light of compassion and forgiveness. Though scared by the ordeal and Bayo emerge from the shadow stronger than before, their bond forged anew by the fires of adversity. And so, in the village of Bayeku, the tale of Bade and Bayo served as reminder of the enduring power of friendship and the perilous consequence of envy and deceit. For in a world fraught with hardship and uncertainty, it is our connection to one another that sustains us through the darkest of time. Thank you, besties, for listening to the story. This is for you to listen to more interesting African stories like this. Please subscribe to my channel, press the follow button on the notification bell to be notified each time I drop an amazing and interesting story. Thank you. Bye. See you again.